Legal experts on the Zimmerman case today. Joining me now is Dan Ross, a veteran criminal defense attorney, as well as Jean Peters-Baker, who is Jackson County prosecutor. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here.
Thank you.
We talked a little bit earlier about this, and the impact of the case is really what's on your mind, Jean, about what's going to happen following this and what it really significantly means for the country.
Well, this is a very tough case. So the legal elements that are in this case involving self-defense make this very difficult hurdles for a prosecution to overcome. So what will happen, we don't know. We've not been in that courtroom, so we don't know what the facts of this case really are, but we do know it's a tough case.
It is a tough case, and it's a sad case because here we are, this young man is dead. And Dan, you talked about the concern about what may happen following this case, the reaction.
Well, the community is going to be touched by the result, however it turns out, guilty or not guilty. But as Gina said, that's a different case, a different city, different facts that we're not really familiar with other than have been reported. I think it's important we understand with the proliferation of carry and conceal, we're going to see a lot more of this type of self-defense case. But the way the law is intended in the United States, at least in Florida and Missouri, it is colorblind. And so that result, whatever it is, we live with it, and if mistakes have been made, it's up for the Court of Appeals to resolve, not for, well, the public can certainly weigh in, but in an appropriate way.
Yeah. Jean, one of the things that was so critical about this case especially were the judge deciding on the instructions to the jury. What exactly what exactly charges that they'll be allowed to have options about. Tell us about that process of, the prosecutor deciding what to charge and how that happens.
That can be a very difficult process in determining what's the appropriate charge. And after all the evidence is laid out through a trial and you see how witnesses testified, evidence that was allowed to come forward, sometimes you won't know that until you're in the middle of the trial, what the judge will allow or disallow to come in. And so sometimes you have to retool at the end of the state's case to determine what's the appropriate charge to bring. Should you have lesser included offenses that should be presented to the jury? Should they not be presented? So that's in every case. It's been in cases that Mr. Ross and I have had together where, at the end of that trial, before it goes to the jury, those determinations are always made.
Wow.
And that's not necessarily the prosecutor's choice. It is up to the court. And sometimes the court is required to submit what are called the lesser includeds. So.
Okay. Well, and for now, we're just waiting and watching. Of course, we will continue to keep you advised on exactly where we are in this case, when it goes to the jury. Thank you so much, Jean Peters-Baker and Dan Ross, criminal defense attorney, for coming and joining us here on Midday News. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.